Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 11. We're getting to the home stretch of our course, so I can't believe it's already almost November. I'm going to go over just some overview of the two modules we'll be doing this week, and then at the end of this video, I have just the list of the upcoming deadlines we have in our last month and a half together. So this week, we're doing modules 20 and 21, which are the World War II home front and the Cold War. So both of these modules really get to explore the tensions and the dynamics between the U.S. mission abroad during World War II and in the post-war period, the sense of serving as an example of democracy and equality, juxtaposed against the threat that we saw in communism, especially coming from the Soviet Union. And then, so juxtaposing that mission with the actions of the U.S. government at home. So we'll look at things like the violation of Americans' civil liberties during the war as a result of Japanese internment. We'll look at the dramatic effects on citizens' lives who were deemed subversive or communist at home after the war. There's this really definite tension between an outward expression of expanding liberty and democracy, and then this inward effort to crack down on anybody deemed subversive, dangerous, non-conforming to American values at home. So there's a lot of contradictions in the 1940s and the 1950s that are really, really interesting. So we can see a lot of interesting tensions of both sides to these advances of the mid-20th century era. So for example, Module 20, one of the things that we're going to look at in addition to racial ideology is women in the war. We usually think about World War II as this Rosie the Riveter moment where all of these American women went to work in defense industries, did things like, making airplanes and sheet metal work, things that are usually considered to be very masculine positions, which is, yes, we have this sort of lasting cultural memory of that Rosie the Riveter figure. But this shouldn't only be seen as an example of progress for American women, because after the war was over, those women were expected to quit those jobs, leave, and vacate those positions for the returning soldiers. So there's this really interesting tension here. There's also a sense of fear and urgency surrounding family and gender dynamics in the post-war period that was further spurred on by these new developments in these massive weapons, the atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb, in the late 1940s and the early 1950s. And there's a sense of just wanting to make everything safe at home, not just in the physical sense, but also in the sense of safeguarding traditional American values, which is not always the most progressive attitude, as we'll see. So I'm really interested to hear what you all think about these two modules. There's some really interesting readings for this week too, some things that are a little different than usual. There's a video, there's some personal family stories, so I'm excited to hear what you all think about those. All right, so the last thing is the upcoming deadlines. So I posted a overview of the iSearch paper on Canvas last week. So if you haven't checked that out, I really recommend it. I have a long video going over the assignment, the prompt, lots of details. So if you have any questions, go check that out. November 4th is your deadline to submit your topic and your planned sources if you want to me via Canvas. I will respond and give you some tips, some feedback on your primary sources, maybe some suggestions. November 15th is when the iSearch papers are due. Then we have our last extra credit opportunity paper due on November 22nd. We get a week off. You don't have anything to do or any, ultimate deadlines during the Thanksgiving break week, November 25th to December 1st. And then when you come back, your Instagram posts are due December 6th. And then lastly, the last week of class, we have our podcast due December 14th. So we do have a lot of stuff coming up. It's a packed month, but luckily we have that break at the end of November. That'll be much needed. All right, everybody have a great week 11. Email me if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon.